Ladies and gentlemen, federal employees, if you as a federal employee are hoping to leave the federal government, and keep some of your core retirement benefits like your pension, like your health insurance, these core benefits that you want to take into retirement, today's video is for you. We're going to talk about leaving, all the different ways you can leave the government and still keep your retirement benefits. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Dallin Haas. I'm a financial planner who serves federal employees retiring every day, and I love it. So let's talk about the different options you have. Basically, there are different types of retirement. And depending on what type of retirement you qualify for, your benefits will be different. So we're going to go through the different types of retirement. There is full retirement, so there's ways to leave early, and there's ways to leave and get almost nothing at all. There's lots of different versions, and you want to make sure you're going out on your terms and not when, of course, they might want you to. When you want to go out when you get the benefits you want. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, the most common way to leave the government, I wouldn't say in 2025. 2025 is a crazy year, but in a normal year, the most common way to leave the government is with a full retirement. And that is when you qualify for a full pension, full everything, which means you've hit your minimum retirement age, which is normally around age 57, by the way. It may be 56 in some months, depending on when you were born, but it's right around age 57. Once you've hit 57 with 30 years, you're eligible for full retirement, or at 60, if you have 20 years, again, you're eligible, or 62 with 5 years, you're fully eligible. So if you hit one of these, you're good to go. You can retire from the government, keep your pension, keep your health insurance. Now, the other criteria for the health insurance part is, yes, you have to have a full retirement, but you also have to have had your health insurance for the last 5 years before your retirement. And if you've done that, then boom, you are eligible to keep your FEHB and get a full pension with no reductions immediately at retirement. Now, I know that many of you are special provision federal employees, and you know who you are. You're firefighters, air traffic control, law enforcement. You know that you can actually retire sooner and still get a full pension and keep your health insurance, and that is at age 50 if you have 20 years of special provision time, then you can retire. Or if you have 25 years of service at any age, then of course you can retire, get a full pension, keep your health insurance, all that good jazz. So that's a full retirement. If you've qualified for a full retirement, you're done. You don't have to worry about any of the other options we're about to talk about. You are good to go. You're done. You're done, okay? Now, the next type of early retirement that you can potentially take and keep your pension and health insurance is what they call MRA plus 10. And as the name suggests, you have to hit your minimum retirement age, which again, for most people is right around age 57. So you hit that age and you have to have at least 10 years of service. Now, you might wonder, well, I thought before at your minimum retirement age, 57, you had to have 30 years of service. And that is true if you want a full retirement. But what we're talking about here is an MRA plus 10 retirement. It's not a full retirement. It's still a good retirement potentially, but it's not full. And this is the catch. The advantage of this is that you can retire sooner than you otherwise would, again, at age 57 with 10 years of service. However, your pension gets a 5% reduction for every year you leave before 62. So if you are 57 and you take this option, that's 5 years before 62, 5 years multiplied by 5% equals 25%. So your pension would be 25% smaller if you took this type of retirement at 57. So for example, if you retire, you're 57 with 10 years or 15 years or anything less than 30, then you would take an MRA plus 10 retirement and have the reductions accordingly. Okay, but with that being said, your pension has reductions to it, but you do get a pension and it's right away. And as long as you meet the 5-year rule for health insurance, you can keep your health insurance into retirement as well. Now, there's one subcomponent of MRA plus 10 called postponed retirement, which allows you to actually avoid that 5% per year reduction that I was just speaking about. You can avoid it if you postpone your pension. And this is how it works. Let me do an example. Let's say you're 57. You've got 15 years of service. So no, you're not eligible for a full retirement because, again, at 57, you need 30 years to be eligible, but you are eligible for an MRA plus 10. If you leave the government at age 57 with 15 years of service, again, your pension normally would have a 25% reduction to it because that's 5 years. 57 is 5 years before 62. But if you postpone your pension, meaning you don't start your pension when you retire, you start it at 62, then that 25% reduction is gone. So at 62, your pension starts, you start getting that monthly check from the government, and there's no 25% reduction to it. And by the way, I didn't mention before, this 25% reduction, if you do have it, it's permanent. It's for life. It doesn't go away when you hit 62 or any other age. It's permanent. So if you first qualify for MRA plus 10, you want to postpone your pension to avoid this reduction. Again, you have to postpone to 62 to avoid the reduction, or age 60 if you have more than 20 years. If you have more than 20 years, let's say you have 22 years, then you would only have to postpone till 60 to avoid the reductions. Okay? So that is how it works. MRA plus 10, again, MRA plus 10 is a way to retire earlier than otherwise, but it normally has a reduction to your pension, 5% for every year before 62, but you can avoid that if you postpone it. Now, one thing to keep in mind, while you're postponing your pension, let's say you retire at 57 and your pension doesn't start till 62. During the gap, of course, you don't have a pension, but you also don't have health insurance. You cannot be on the government health insurance during that time. So that's the catch of the postponed. Is yes, you can postpone, avoid those reductions, but you won't be on the health insurance either during the gap. Once your pension restarts at 60 or 62, then you can restart your health insurance, but not before. Okay? So those are the details so far. Now, especially in 2025, there are tens of thousands of federal employees who are taking a VERA, or Voluntary Early Retirement Authority, aka an early out. Basically what this means is you can retire sooner than you otherwise could and still get a pension right away without any reductions. This is not always offered, but this year it's been offered a lot. And it's very similar to the special provision retirement requirement, which is at age 50, you need at least 20 years, or if you have 25 years, you can go at any age. So if you were offered a VERA, you are eligible for a VERA, and you take it and they accept your application, everything like that, you can get a pension right away. And there's no reductions to it, and you can keep your health insurance as well, which is fantastic, okay? So those are the different ways that you can keep your core benefits into retirement. Either full retirement, MRA plus 10, postponed, or VERA. Now, if you don't hit any one of these, that is what they call a deferred retirement, which I've got whole videos on. You can check those out. A deferred retirement, you do get a pension, but it's not right away, and you lose all your insurance. Okay, so that's not one of the ways you can keep your benefits, so I'm not going to talk about it here, but you can check it out in other videos. I hope that is helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.